Dr. Ferguson, I know you're going to have an amazing amount of material in this, so I'm not really worried about the stand-up gripping. However, I would like to see how grip fighting can be used to dominate on the ground as well. How it can be used in Newaza or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to manipulate my opponents and put them where I want them to be. Thank you so much for your question. I answered this question in a seminar. Now, before I let you see it, I have a warning. The seminar content is PG-13 for adult language. After watching this clip over and over and over again, I will be 100% honest with you. I should not make this available for public consumption because some of the things on here are true but super controversial. But I'll let you watch them anyway.
Like we talked about, man. Okay, gripping sequence for Jiu-Jitsu. Lapel, feed, sleeve. Lapel, feed, sleeve. No space. Lapel, feed, sleeve. Lapel, feed, sleeve. Lapel, feed, sleeve. Inherent in lapel, feed, sleeve is a retraction of the knees. Lapel, feed, sleeve. Lapel, feed, sleeve. Lapel, feed, sleeve. Now, my son Rufus, when he hits the mat, he's immediately doing what? Lapel, feed, sleeve. He's not deviating from anything. Lapel, feed, sleeve. Now, as soon as he hits, he goes lapel. What is your initial reaction when I grab your lapel? Correct. No, correct. It's a posture, right? Feed. What's your reaction? You gonna get that off? Now, sleeve. Now you made yourself upright. Then I plant foot, trip.
Scissor sweep.
Yeah, but the problem is everybody teaches scissor sweep, and scissor sweep don't have shit to do with the move. Because if I teach scissor sweep, you can't do it. Like lapel, feed, sleeve is what allows you to become upright so that your knees aren't perpendicular so that you can get swept. Otherwise, if you're down, you make your knees perpendicular because there's only two positions in Newaza. There's parallel and there's perpendicular. So if she's like this, right, if she widens, she becomes perpendicular. When she's narrow, she's what? Parallel. Initially, when I go lapel, feed, she wants to get upright, so she's not gonna be like that. So she'll make herself upright, automatically making herself correct, even when she's not trying to, because grip fighting is really psychology in the psychomotor domain. It's manipulation. But if she does get wise and I go lapel, feed, sleeve, plant foot, shrimp, knee cut across, lock and low, and if I slide my leg and I can't do it, then that's when I immediately go to gas pedal. But gas pedal is a secondary movement if she widens based upon the grip sequence of lapel, feed, sleeve, lapel, feed, sleeve, lapel, feed, sleeve, lapel, feed, sleeve, lapel, feed, sleeve. The whole time while I'm fighting, I'm just doing this. Lapel, feed, sleeve. If she rips her sleeve away, lapel, feed, sleeve, 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 sleeve. Now, thank you. But the whole time I'm doing lapel, feed, sleeve, and she's fighting, guess what she's not doing? Correct. And my game has become so simple that as soon as I hit the mat, I'm immediately doing what? Lapel, feed, sleeve. My son, I don't care what he's doing. As soon as he hits the mat, his job is to lock down guard position in order to decrease the movement and the randomness in the event. And then he immediately has to move, and I gotta say, lapel, feed, sleeve. Because the referee has to know he's working. He immediately. Lapel, feed, sleeve, plant foot, shrimp, knee cut across, lock and low, slide, leg sweep, pin. On the implicit side, because he's a kid. But if it was an explicit thing, I would say, step one is take your left hand, put it on the lapel close to the shoulder. Step two is with your guard closed, knees tight, and your knees towards your shoulders, breaking the person's posture. Step three, take your right hand, feed it directly into the lapel all the way to the back of the tag. Step four, take the left hand without making any space, slide, catch paw grip the sleeve. Step 5, open up your forearm and your elbow to create space if they don't make posture. Step 6, plant your right foot. Step 7, shrimp. Step 8, cut your knee across to the top of your foot is on the hip. Step 9 is pull the person in close in the lock and load position. Step 10 is the foot that's on the hip, the left foot. It rides down. If you feel your foot riding down and out, you go to gas pedal, which puts them off into this tree. If your foot goes directly down to the floor, you do the scissor. Step 10, you mount position, lock the pin down. And then there's another tree based upon the knee cut across pass or going straight across into the mount choke. But this is the explicit explanation that you would give to adults. On the implicit side, I just give lapel, feet, sleeve, plant, foot, shrimp, knee cut across, lock and low, slide, leg sweep, pin. Then I let him figure it out through randori. When I'm teaching judo to kids, don't miss this, is I teach them on the implicit side. I teach them ogoshi, I teach them osotogari, I teach them ippon seonagi, I teach them ouchi, and I let them all play and implicitly figure out where the sweet spot is to throw. When I'm teaching adults directly for competition, or if I'm taking a child that I funnel into the athlete development to become an elite athlete, I give them specifically the explicit instructions because they're in a population of people who can handle explicit instructions and they won't leave when the practice becomes deliberate and boring. So you can't give them step 1, place your left hand around the left shoulder. Step 2, knees tight, knees towards yourself, breaking the person apart. Step 3, right hand, feet all the way to the tag. Because when you know that, that's when you know Jiu-Jitsu. And all these purple belts and brown belts walking around here can't explain shit. Don't impress me. They're dumb. And they are stupid. And it's not, listen, it's not because they want to be. It's because they don't understand there are 2 things at play here. There is the sport of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then there's being a martial artist. I'm here today and I'm not talking about the martial art of judo. I told you contextually we're talking about the sport of judo and how it is to win. But when you do talk about the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or the art of judo, the art is an art form that really falls, the martial arts falls under the fine arts, which requires study. It requires the study of kinesis, of human movement, of psychology and how those things are manifested through human movement. And if you cannot explain what it is that you do, if you're not taking the time to read Socrates and Aristotle, then you're full of shit. If you are teaching people's children about human movement, you are unqualified. But what we all do as people, we take some person who has got a black belt in a thing or a medal in a thing, and we give them the halo effect that they can teach and they can educate, and they are not trained in that particular domain. I can take a purple belt or a brown belt or a blue belt or a green belt who is trained in the field of education, give them a curriculum and have them teach the sport better than anybody that you know. Why? Because teaching is a profession. It's an art. Sport is a sweet science, which means it has a pseudo part to it, because it's not a real science. And the reason why it's not real, because every sport has the possibility of what? Luck. And when luck is injected, it can't be a pure science. The thing about a science, what makes it pure, it is what? It is repeatable. So the reason why you call boxing or judo a sweet science, because it's not a pure science. Because on a pure science and an investigative process, I should be able to do the same steps and get the same result over and over and over and over and over again. And when I inject randomness in the event and it no longer is the same, it cannot be a science. Thus, Talib Nassim's fooled by randomness, fooled. Like a lot of you guys get fooled by randomness. Like when a person wins a medal at the Olympics, that's a random event. The randomness is decreased based upon the rules, right? But it's a manipulated event. So it's not a question of is Teddy Riner that good? It's the rules have been created to make him that good, or he operates under that set of rules very well, one or the other.
We knew we started the process in 1996 that we would end up with predictable winners in
And losers.
2016.
Correct. It was like that. It was a process to get there.
Yes.
Right. Because the removal of the pistol grip creates more randomness for arm movements and iterations. Then to lock that down, they go catch ball. And they said, no, we got to remove the catch ball to increase the randomness in the event in order for more throws to occur. But they said, this is too random, we got to remove the leg attacks. Because now we can't predict who's going to win. Because when you, and this, understand that this does happen, it's like in Vegas and well, when the tournament starts, they run through the checklist of who's supposed to win, who's supposed to lose, based upon the percentages. And it should finish like that. Because the 100 meters finishes like that. And the 200 meters finishes like that. I was at the track and field trials, I forgot what year it was. I think I told somebody, and Justin Gatlin false started.
Mm-hmm.
They took a TV timeout. I was underneath the tent with VIPs, ran the whole field, all the people, and they said, you got to put it back in the race. They said, we false started. He said, you don't understand. All right, you need to put Justin Gatlin back in the race.
Because we need the sponsor.
Because we need the sponsorship money. And you cannot induce that type of randomness in the event. Now, we will take a 5-minute break and we are going to jump into grip fighting, something serious. But before we do, I want to say this. If I have a 38 snub nose handgun, I gotta say snub nose, otherwise it ain't real. You know the snub, that snub nose, yeah, that little thing. Yeah, exactly. You got it. When you have a snub nose 38, you automatically gotta tuck your bottom lip underneath your teeth. Automatically. If you got a regular one, you can just it's natural. Snub nose 38. If I got a snub nose 38 and I have 9mm bullets, is that any good? No. Let's take a break.